Greetings, guys. It's Fancy, and I am the award-winning editor-in-chief of Swagger Magazine. And today, like yesterday, I hopped on here. I really was not prepared, and I feel like this showed. Although, if you know anything about me, you know that I can be very in the moment. So, like, so that's not to say I would have normally have done um like something spectacular or anything like that. But just to say, I feel like it was such an awkward experience for me because I hadn't been going live recently. So, however, I will say I'm not gonna act like I'm just this pro at going live, but I've improved over the years. So today I was like, let me get a little bit together to talk to y'all about instead of just being like, hey, do you want to buy so? Because that is not a good look. So so at the end of the day, of course, I do want you to buy so and so, but let me tell you, provide you all with some value as well. Um, so with that being said, I was just really I've been trying to visualize like how I want our Juneteenth celebration to go. Just like how I would like to see things. What I think might interest you all. Who else we might can collaborate with to make this event an even bigger success. And then I was like, well, why not talk about the history of Juneteenth? Because if you don't like know the history of the day, then you may not be as interested in a Juneteenth celebration, for one. So for those who don't know, Juneteenth is the day when and I have some notes because I had to remember this stuff. I didn't want to tell you anything wrong. So on General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas on June 18th, 1865. And then on the following day, which was June 19th, 1865, he announced the General Order number 3 from the Ashton Villa. And basically what that order said was that the slaves in that area were free. So that was within the Galveston, Texas area. However, on December the 6th, 1865, then the 13th Amendment was signed into it was ratified, and basically that declared that slaves were free all over the country. So of course, there have been some other states that had also already declared their slaves free. However, think about how communication traveled during that time, as well as a lot of slave owners had fled to the Texas area because the other states had freed their slaves and they wanted to continue to hold that slave owner status. So if you like to learn more about that part of history, I'm going to drop in the comments the link to the article that I read because it was so good. But from that day of June 19th, 1865, then Black people began to celebrate within that area and other areas, and they would call that day Freedom Day or Liberation Day or Jubilee Day. So the day has several different names, but from that, basically the Juneteenth celebration that we know of today came about. Back in the day when they had that day, they would have games, they would have food. They even had political rallies. They reflected on how far they come as Black people's progression. They would also like they said, once they began to do like voting registrations, that began to cause some pushback. Of course, people didn't want Black people to vote, so that caused some issues, and then they kind of began to stick more so to the reflection side. The Black people would get dressed up to the attendee event. I was like, man, how cool would it be? I know we're gonna be at home, but like, what if people were to get dressed up, like in their Sunday's best to attend the Free Yourself event? But from all of that, that is basically where I came up with the idea for Free Yourself, which is our Juneteenth celebration. It's going to be a 2-hour event across our streaming networks. So that will be our Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And what else am I trying to tell y'all? Sorry, I saw a comment come through since like, and I was looking at that. But that it will stream across those platforms, And basically, what we're doing right now is hosting a speaker call. So we're looking for 5 speakers to help celebrate this day with us, partner with us. And we have a really good package put together for those of you who are interested. I don't know if you all ever check, like, look at our lives or not, because we have over 137,000 followers on this page now. So I don't know who's to say, like, oh, this person watched all the lives, or you might watch a live here or a live there. However, our live viewership has really been growing. With our live viewership, we receive about 1,000 views a day. That's not on my videos. Now, that's usually like when we have a guest speaker on or something like that, which is why I know that this is a great opportunity for business owners, because those videos do really well. So imagine if we were to do a presentation, whereas we all came together. I would say the 6 of us, we may have a host, so it may be 7. And just really talk to our people. Especially, we talk about freedom from different perspectives. Like, so if you're a financial coach, then you might talk about financial freedom. If you're a life coach, you might talk about mental freedom. That seems kind of weird to say, but I feel like that could be a thing. Like, that could really be a thing. What else? If you're a health coach, you talk about health freedom. So just different ways to empower our audience, because that is what Swagger Magazine is all about. We always say we're for the intentional Black woman who likes to keep it real. And I feel like in this economy, in this time right now, this is a time whereas we need to be trying to come together more. We need to be educating and empowering each other more. I know that not all the time do you want to talk about serious stuff, and that's not to say that we can't talk about fun stuff during the celebration, but I just know, like, times are changing. I know even for me as a business owner, business has been a lot slower. So, you know, I feel like everybody's kind of feeling that crunch right now, and we have to be wiser about the things that we're taking part in. I actually spoke to another business owner the other day, and she was inquiring about some services, but she wanted to know what exactly she was getting, and it made sense. As she was just talking to me, I realized, like, she was being intentional about what she was purchasing. She wanted to know if it was going to actually help her toward her goal. And I totally understood where she was coming from, because I've been making those, having to make the same or go deep within and ask myself those same questions as well as a business owner, just to make certain that everything is making sense. Because right now it really doesn't make sense to buy things that's not going to benefit you or your business. We're all trying to grow, right? So that only makes sense. Excuse me one second, y'all, because my mouth, I've been talking for a minute. And that would be like the last sip of water that I actually had left in my cup. But anyway, so the package Jamel looks like has dropped in the links. So then I'm also going to run the banner. But what we have is the empowerment speaker package, and basically it allows you 12 minutes to speak during the event. The event is going to be Wednesday, June 19th, from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. And you get the 12 minutes. You also get a what's going on interview, which is like, if you see this frame that I'm within right now, you typically see this when we're doing one of our live broadcasting interviews with the guests, and that's our what's going on segment, whereas we bring on different business owners, authors, creatives, artists, and they talk about basically what's going on with them. Usually they're working on some sort of project or they have a new product about to drop, or like one artist recently had an album come out. So just different things, and we check in with them and see what they have going on, and we share that with our network. So that's the what's going on interview. And then we also will give you a Swagger Online feature. So that is basically a website feature at swaggeronline.com. If you all have never been to swaggeronline.com, I do encourage that you all, go check us out. Like, we have articles, we write news and content. A lot of the stuff that we share on this page is just, like reposting stuff or celeb stuff, but we really have some really good articles, like, especially I like to think for the intentional Black woman that likes to keep it real, like things that you all would like to be learning about or knowing about or looking into or whatever the case may be, and share that website and those stories with your friends as well. But look, I'm going off on another tantrum, so I'm supposed to be telling y'all about I'm supposed to be telling you all about the package. So what else is in the package? And it also includes a newsletter spotlight. We have about 4,000 on our newsletter mailing list. We haven't really been promoting it the way we had done over the years. And so I realized, especially, we need to get back on that. So be on the lookout. If you're not on the list, then we will be sharing a link for that soon, and you all can sign up there. And then we also, just even speaking of newsletters, because we also have our Slaying Summers newsletter, which is sponsored by Black Girl Vitamins. Use code Francesca20 at checkout whenever you shop Black Girl Vitamins. But they're sponsoring our events newsletter that we're hosting this summer, and that newsletter is strictly for events, whether that be in person or virtual. We want to be able to share that with our audience. So as you all can see, we got a lot going on. But so just to recap, that package is a 12-minute speaking spot, a what's going on interview, a swaggeronline.com feature, a newsletter spotlight. Oh, and I missed one. You also get featured in our digital issue. So if we can get the support that we need, then we're gonna do the digital issue for Free Yourself, which is still gonna have, it's gonna have the same theme as the event. So we'll be able to feature our guest speakers in that issue as well. And you get a two-page spread for that price. And the price is $300. I realized I hadn't said that, but the price is $300 for the package. So you get those items, and then of course you just get to educate your people and be amongst like-minded people. I think it's a really great package. I think it is really uh it would really benefit those who are looking for more visibility with their business because of how well this page does with our viewership. We reach millions of viewers. I hadn't checked I can't tell you our exact numbers. I think the highest I've seen is like maybe 20 million. So, but we started this page, for those who don't know, like we started this page in 2010. So it is, oh, almost about actually in July we're going to be 14 years. Well, that'll be our 14-year anniversary, and so that'll also be when this page make 14 years old. So that is just how long we have been at work. So if you're one of our 137,000 followers, thank you so much for tuning in. We are still learning to grow our YouTube page and our LinkedIn page, but if you're one of our followers watching from there, then we also thank you as well. So I don't know, does anyone have any questions for me about the package? Yeah, the link is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, or scrolling across the bottom of the screen, as well as it is in the comments. The package is $300 and includes the digital issue feature, the website feature, the newsletter feature, the what's going on feature, and the 12 minutes to speak at the event. So, of course, we're going to be promoting the event, and you will be included in all of the promotional materials as long as you register for the event early. So the deadline for this package is next Friday, which is the 31st. So May 31st is the deadline. If you go to our website, you can learn more about it. You can even see like one of our past events, the Black Women Made Whole event that we did last year that was virtual. I think, and we didn't even have the numbers that we have now back then. So I'm just like, I can only imagine how good it's going to be when we do this event. And especially when you think about it, like the synergy of pulling people together, but also, for the speakers and the participants of the event, and then also just the pulling together of the different audiences. Now imagine how our viewership will look, and then you can get a copy of the event, of the recording. You could always just embed the link somewhere, and that shows like, hey, I had this. I participated in this event that had whatever many views on it. Now I don't want to be like, I'm not a mathematician or anything, so I can't tell you like, oh, we're gonna have this amount of views. But I definitely think that we would do well over 2,000 views. I'll say that. Now, how long they may be watching, I can't say. That's one thing. I'm very honest and transparent. But if we put on a good show, then we may be able to get in the whole time, and that would be a really cool thing. Like I was really thinking about letting the event go beyond 2 hours, but I know we have short attention spans, or at least I do, because I honestly have adult ADHD. So I don't know if I could watch something longer than 2 hours unless it's like something I'm binge watching. So, but and I don't even know if I could sit here and host with y'all for 2 hours. I mean, more than 2 hours. However, we're gonna make it do what it do, and it's gonna be a good event. So I'm hoping that you all will reach out to us with your questions, that you'll tell your friends about this opportunity, that you go to the website and just check the opportunity out for yourself. Initially, you may not interest you, but then once you start looking back at it, you may actually be like, oh, it does. So, and I just realized like there, I hope, I don't know. I'm not gonna, I was gonna say, I've started talking about the package and I don't want people to think they missed the history part of things, but they can always watch the replay, I guess. I, I care about that type of stuff. That's just me. So in case somebody's wondering, like, why is she even talking about that? But if you're just tuning in, I did go over the history of Juneteenth. We talked about how General I'm trying to find my notes again. General Gordon Granger made it to Galveston, Texas in 1865. And then on the next day, which was June 19th, how he read to those Black people that were there that they had been freed. And then on, I think it was December the 13th, 1865, the it was actually the 13th Amendment was created, so slaves were free everywhere. So we were talking about that earlier. We were talking about how Juneteenth celebrations used to look, and how the names that they used to have for them, like Freedom Day, Liberation Day, Jubilee Day, and then how they were growing when they began to do things like the voter registration sign up, but how they received pushback from that. So they kind of retreated and began to speak more so to like reflecting over how Black people have progressed over the years. I don't know if there's going to be any voter registration signups right now, but hey, if there are any that can work with us and the people watching can sign up online, that would be really great. Just throwing it out there because it's been on my mind ever since I read about that. Ever since I read about that, I know I will admit this is a very tough election season, in my opinion. Just me speaking for myself, but I feel like we don't have the best candidates to choose from. It's just kind of, yeah. But anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. We're talking about being free for yourself. Um, just, how can you free yourself from within? Those sort of things, like not a because I think being free is kind of like a mental thing. Of course, it would also be good to be financially free as well. Just, I think we can all agree there. But there's so many ways that a person can be free when you really think about it. So I feel, and that's why I feel like this event is going to come together really nicely, because people are going to have different uh perspectives as far as like how they would like to take their freedom speech, and so I'm really looking forward to hearing those speeches and just hearing what people have to say, because I'm going to be there listening and learning and watching just like you all. So yeah, that's basically it. I see we had some more people come in and leave out, or other people leave out, and I kind of ran through the history twice, but you are always welcome to watch the replay. I'm gonna go ahead on and prepare to log off. I still haven't saw any questions, so your our inbox is always open. And then I also will drop our email in the comments here, where you all can also check out our if you have questions, you can also send your questions there as well. But I realized I ran through the history twice. Just to restate again, we were talking about the empowerment speaker package that we have for our Free Yourself event, which is taking place on June 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. And basically, one second, y'all. It's always like our kids be thinking they grown, and then they and then they ask you the weirdest questions. Like my daughter is asking right now, do I know how to book flights? Like, you about to be 21 soon. Well, not too soon, but still, you should be able to book a flight, right? Um, But the package includes a 12-minute speaking slot, the What's Going On interview feature, a Swagger Online feature, a newsletter spotlight, and a digital issue spotlight. So, yeah, that's basically everything. So if you all have any questions, you can reach out to us via our email, and or you can send us a inbox or a DM. We're always happy to help. And peace and blessings. You all have a safe and prosperous weekend.